go. All right. Camera's working. It's all good now. All right. We are live on Facebook as well. So, welcome everyone. Late night tonight was dealing with some well wishers for my birthday. If you guys didn't know, it's my birthday. And if you're on TikTok, I do have a live goal of the cake. So if you want to donate those, that would be awesome. Tap the screen. If not, that's free. Just sharing the energy exchange. That's great. So as I said, I was dealing with some people, talking with some friends, catching up with people on things that I hadn't talked to in a while, but you know, it delayed me and I was like, oh, maybe I probably shouldn't have launched on my birthday. I forgot about all the delays that were going to happen from just connecting with people of well wishers. My mom sent me some flowers today. That was a nice surprise. So that was a nice birthday present. So I appreciate that, Mom. If you're listening, thank you so much for the flowers. They were beautiful. So today we're going to go over what my coaching program is. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Tina. I am a happiness coach. And what I've done is yeah, 25, something like that. I got dyslexia. So my coaching program, what I'm launching today, I've done this throughout my career in corporate. And one of the things that is near and dear to my heart is anybody who is in business, that is in leadership, whether you're a business owner, ideally a business owner, because I see so many small businesses, especially online, there's a lot of challenges that end up coming up as you're building your business. And it can really cause a lot of stress. And there's nothing more stressful than being a solo entrepreneur as you're starting to build up, and then you start adding in team members and all of these different dynamics start happening. And sometimes you feel like you don't have anybody that you can actually talk to about what's going on. And one of the things is, as I was in business, I was always with senior leadership, and they always felt comfortable with opening up to me. And I often gave a lot of guidance, and sometimes it had nothing to do with business. So people would share with me things like challenges that they were having in their relationships, challenges they may have been having with family members, and just personal things of feeling doubt and insecurity. Sometimes it was just a matter of being able to diffuse the emotions that they were feeling because they wanted to Hulk smash one of the team members, or they were ready to flip a table, that they felt so much anger and frustration and stuff like that. And not because they were bad people, but because of just all of the challenges that you deal with in business. It can be really difficult to manage those emotions and to be able to process those emotions in a healthy way, in a productive way that actually helps you become happier. And because when you are a leader that is happy, that you will actually lead your team in a much different way. You lead your team from a place of love and expansion and openness and creativity and innovation, and that allows not only you to be more productive, but it also allows your team to be much more productive. And so with that, of being able to help managers, and what I would do a lot of times, not just managers, I was dealing with CEOs and VPs and all of this kind of stuff, and they were comfortable enough to, because I provided that safe space. And why? It's because I've done a lot of inner work. So from my past experience, I have been through a lot of trauma in my life. I've been through a lot of therapy, group therapy as well, and I've learned a lot of life experience along the way. And not only have I been able to transmute the stuff that I've been through trauma-wise, but I've also been able to identify things that I've learned through change management processes that I've learned in the corporate environment. So this is real world experience, and I often share my personal experience, strength, and hope, giving examples of what it is that needs to be able to change. The thing is I am a much better listener than I am a speaker. So while it's great to listen to me, one of the things that is near and dear to my heart is being able to actually be present for somebody else, to be able to help them through these emotions by being able to be there, listen to them, provide them that safe space where they can actually talk about what's going on. Because to me, there's no worse feeling than being in a situation where you really feel like you need to talk with someone. You can try therapy, but that doesn't always translate to how to operate in the business world. And sometimes the advice that's given isn't actually really helpful. Excuse me. So, somebody who can understand from a business perspective what it means to be a high performer, high achiever, to help guide you and coach you through these emotions so that you can actually get through them at a faster pace, that you can get yourself to a happier place, learning how the tools that I've used to manage these emotions so that even if somebody pisses you off, you're ready to lose your shit because there's all kinds of stuff that comes up. There will be nonstop problems if you are building a business, if you are dealing with team members, and knowing how to manage that and deal with that in a way that each person is going to require a different way that you approach it. So being really resilient in your emotional management. And that can only come if you have done a lot of your own personal inner work. And being able to do this in a way, even if you haven't come from an experience where you've been through trauma yourself, I can promise you that there are people on your team that have been through trauma that probably haven't dealt with it, because I know for me in the beginning, I actively resisted trying to get help. I thought it was fine. I didn't need any help. I didn't need anyone. And learning how to manage these emotions and deal with them in a way that's actually constructive is really beneficial. So as I go through this, one of the things that I wanted to share in my experience, one of the things that had happened to me, and this is one of many. So I was in a situation in a work environment, and you guys tell me if this sounds familiar or not. But so I was dealing with some emotional challenges. So I had some team members that they were working really hard, and they were before I came on board with the company, they were promised certain things of being able to have opportunities to move up, opportunities to grow within the company. Unfortunately, I didn't have any place. I was the supervisor at the time. I didn't have any place for them to grow. And so even though they were doing a really good job and they were putting in the work, I just didn't have a spot for them to grow, even within the organization, because the organization had taken on a component of the business that they don't normally do. It wasn't their core strength. They were more focused on warehousing, and they had to take on this transportation piece that they weren't really, that's not their strength, that wasn't their forte, but they agreed to take it on as part of the contract to be able to land this particular customer. And so, of course, when they came on board, there were all kinds of things that were not communicated properly. So they severely underestimated the number of people they were going to need to run the department. I came on board. We had to run it very lean. The people that they had hired, they had promised them certain things, that there was going to be a lot of growth opportunities, and they were really patient. They were really patient at being understanding, understanding that we needed to get certain things worked out, and then they were trying to grow and develop. Unfortunately, they weren't trying to grow and develop the transportation side. They were only trying to grow and develop the warehousing side. Um, so because of that, I really didn't have any place that these guys could grow as an opportunity. They didn't have enough warehouse experience so that they could go out and grow in that capacity. And there was no place, unless I left or my manager left, that they could grow in transportation. And so, of course, I tried to develop them and build their skills in whatever ways that I could. But it eventually got to the point where they were looking at me like, and they were justifiably resentful because we weren't able to follow through on the promises. And so when that happens, there will be emotions that come up. And then if they're not handled correctly, and back then I didn't have enough awareness, I hadn't failed enough to understand how I could have handled that differently, but I handled it the best way that I could. Unfortunately, we ended up losing some really good people on the team, and despite me being able to do everything that I could and they doing everything that they could, we still ended up losing good people because the company itself was not ready to grow in that capacity. And so, knowing what I know now, how I would have handled some things a little bit differently, um, would have been something that was really helpful. And I couldn't really talk to anybody. I didn't really have anyone that I could talk to about that. And I know at the time, I was also being able to help other people that were coming to me and talking to me about things that were non-work related. And so this made me aware that their people's performance. So one of the problems that we were having is that one of the well, a couple of things. So there were a couple of different problems that were happening at the same time. Is one, the customer that we were dealing with, the main contact that we had, they were actually going through a divorce. So when they were going through that divorce, they were not on their best behavior. They were not handling things very well. They were very reactive. And sometimes, so this had nothing to do with me not being able to manage my emotions, but being able to manage the emotions of others and understanding where they were coming from and not being reactive to that allowed me to be much happier, allowed me to be able to operate in a way that was non-reactive and build the trust and the relationship, even though the person on the other side was not being their best self because they were going through something that was very, very difficult, very challenging emotionally for them. So while everybody likes to believe that, it's nothing personal, it's just business, I can promise you everything about business is personal. And the more that you're able to handle the emotional side of business, the better you're able to um, be more productive, get the results that you want. And although it may not seem like it in the short term, in the long term, that is the relationships that you build, the emotional connection that you build with the people, whether they're your customer, whether they're your employee, whether they are your family members, your spouse. When you're able to build strong, trusting relationships that are built on authenticity and genuine connection, then you are able to affect people in a way that is positive, to create an environment where people can actually be genuinely happy and they're allowed to um, talk about and communicate what is going on with them. And it's that lack of communication, that lack of understanding of the emotional connection. So when people are in that reactive state. They're in that state of fear, and not taking that personally is going to go a long way. And recognizing that as a cry for support, a cry for love, is something that is really beneficial at being able to build those relationships in a way that's actually healthy. So I've helped many, many people at being able to do that. And I've seen people transform from being in a state where they're confused, they're avoiding problems, they're either anxious, they're angry, they've got a hair trigger because everything's getting on their nerves, they feel overwhelmed, stressed out, they're not acting as their best self. And when you can actually provide somebody that space, and they can be heard and they can open up in a way that is non-judgmental. It's a supportive environment. That is what I've always been able to offer in the business world. And I have people don't recognize the value that I bring until I step away, and then they realize it's like, oh, I don't have Tina here to diffuse the bomb. I don't have Tina here to bounce these ideas off of, and to be able to talk in a way that there was authentic. So I could let them vent. I could let my higher ups vent about whatever was going on, and I didn't take it personally. I didn't mistreat anybody else on the team because of what they shared. They could open up, they could vent their frustrations, and when they could do that, they could see more clearly, and I could offer them a different perspective. Didn't matter. It wasn't necessary that I was just agreeing with them and saying yes, because I would call them out and offer them a different perspective, but I could do it in a way that they felt supported. So it's not a matter of me just going, oh, yeah, let's just be all nice and happy, because I can promise you, I had to work really hard to be this nice, to be this calm, this um, gentle with how I approach things, because it's something that was a learned skill that I had to do. Because if I was in a constant state of reaction of what I've been through, I should not be able to function at the level that I do based on what I've been through. And so, if I can learn to manage my emotions in that way, and I can help you learn to manage your emotions in a way that is effective, productive, and helpful to the people around you, that you build them up. Because I can promise you, people that are happy are much more productive. And this is why I want to focus on business owners, because business owners have such an impact on this world, their teams, the people around them. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I was stressed out and I was frustrated and everything, and then I would come home and I would vent for like 45 minutes straight to my spouse at the time. And I was just like, because of all the frustrations I was dealing with, I didn't have an outlet, a healthy outlet to be able to deal with this. So being able to have somebody that's a coach that understands those emotions. You can rage, it's not going to bother me. You can vent this stuff out, it's not going to bother me. And in fact, I'm probably going to find it a little bit amusing, right? Because I understand those emotions. I understand those angry feelings and the frustrations that you deal with as being a business owner, and being able to offer you that space so that you can talk about what's going on. Because if you can't actually talk about what the real problem is and how you actually feel about it, if you've always got to manage the image and you can't actually open up, then you can't actually solve the problem, because you're not dealing with the real problem, because you're always trying to have it to polish it up and not speak about the truth. And if you can't actually open up in an authentic way, you can't actually solve these problems. And you just kind of put on that business polished professional smile. And I know how to do that because I've done it for many, many years. So I'm not talking about fake happy. I'm talking about real, authentic happiness. And when we can help you get to that space, it's not going to phase you. as you go through your day to day. You're going to see things in a completely different light, a completely different perspective, and that is what my coaching program is going to help you with. And so this is what I want to be able to help you guys with. It's an 8-week program that I've put together. I'm going to teach you foundational tools that you can use not only in your personal life, but your professional life as well. But we're going to focus on you, and we're going to do the world according to you in this coaching program. So it's going to be you and I working together, 8 sessions, one-on-one. We're going to meet weekly. We're going to talk about what's going on with you, what is truly going on. We're going to formulate, and this is where the change management side of it is, we're going to treat this like change management. So while we're doing deep inner work, and I'm very trauma aware, and I am very well versed on how to deal with those deeper emotions and how to connect the dots of where those emotions come from, why you might be reacting the certain way that you're reacting to things, and how to deal with those, and then also how to identify that in your team members so that you can better interact, better communicate with them, and get um, a happier response. Because if they are happy, I can promise you they're going to deliver so much more than if you are trying to shut it down because you don't understand where their emotions are coming from, and you're like, I don't have fucking time with this. I got a business to run. I don't have time to deal with your emotions. Just deal with those on the outside. And that is not helpful. Showing you the way that you can actually open up, and you can pronouns. I am a she. So I'm not sure what your pronouns are or how that's relevant to this conversation, but feel free to share those with me if you'd like. So the coaching program, it's one-on-one coaching. It's going to be for 8 weeks. This is my beta launch program. So the pricing is going to be the lowest that it's ever been. And then when you get, once I get everything set up and streamlined, then the prices will go up. They, them. Well, welcome. And I don't see a name, so I'm not sure what to refer to you other than they, them. So we'll go with that. So guys, the coaching program is one-on-one. When we have more people joining in on the program, there will be a group coaching component to that as well, where you can come in and you can answer or have questions, and those will be answered directly. And that will be able to provide you some support that way. Okay. Sorry. All right. So the happiness coaching, we're going to focus on your personal inner work. Hey, Dominic, good to see you. Welcome back. I'm just going over the details. I know you were interested in the coaching program. So it's going to be 8 weeks, one-on-one sessions, but there will also be a group coaching program component as more and more people jump in. You'll be able to ask questions, and you'll be able to learn not only from me, but other business owners. And you'll see that there's some very common issues that go on in business and how to deal with that. And we'll approach that more from a change management perspective, and we'll be diving into that a little bit deeper. If you feel that this is something that you might need some help with, if you find that you're working in your business and you're ready to Hulk smash, whether that's Hulk smash your vendors, Hulk smash your customers, Hulk smash your employees, if you find that you've got this hair trigger and you're getting frustrated and you're getting irritated and you're just like having to spend all of this energy trying to keep those emotions down, then you may want to book a call with me, and we can talk about whether or not I can actually help you and how that would look like and what that would look like for you. If you find that you're anxious and your business is keeping you up at night, that you're not able to sleep, you're frustrated, you're thinking of all the things that you need to do, and you feel like you're on this hamster wheel and the anxiety is getting to you, then you may want to book that call. If you are, maybe you've just become numb to everything, and you're just sitting there like that meme where you're like, this is my circus, these are my monkeys, and you feel like you're the guy sipping coffee and there's fire burning around you, and you're like, this is fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. Okay, you might have shifted into numbing your feelings. If you're having to rely on your vices, your coping mechanisms, whether that's drinking, drugs, um, gaming, food addictions, any of those kind of stuff, if you're finding that you're relying more heavily on those vices, then you may need to do some emotional inner work to get you back to a happier state, because when you're in a happy state, I can promise you, you won't need those coping mechanisms. So the goal is to shift you into a happier state. Hi from Toronto, AK. Shift you to a happier state so that you can deal with things much more productively. You yourself, I mean, think about it. Think about when you're feeling anxious, stressed, burnt out, angry at work, how productive are you? All of your energy is being spent at trying to manage those emotions, because you can't have an outburst. You can't yell at your customers. You can't yell at your employees. Well, maybe you do yell at your employees, and I can promise you that has a cost to it as well. You've got a lot of pride in you that I can ask for help when needed. What is it? Okay. Yeah. So having issues of not being able to ask for the help that you need, I can promise that is probably result of previous trauma, whether that's from childhood or whether that is from a previous work environment where trust was broken, and so you learn to be hyper independent, where you don't want to ask for help. And and that can lead to micromanaging, not letting your team do the things that they need to do. You're not building them up in a way. So then what ends up happening is you don't delegate, and you end up taking on everything yourself, which is probably part of what's leading to the stress, anxiety, or numbing feelings out, that you're not able to let some of that stuff go. I know that stuff myself. So we'll talk about how those emotions are preventing you from building your business to what it could be. And we can talk about what that looks like. And so you may want to book a call with me, AK, and I will be, I didn't think that through all the way. I do have a link here. Let me just put this down, and I can put that in the chat. So, AK, if you want, what I could do is I can DM you that. Let me just make sure I'm following you. If you want to message me, I can send you the link to book a coffee chat with me, and we can talk about what's going on with your business, how you're feeling unhappy with the results in your business, or even your own personal stuff. Maybe you're going through personal things. I've seen a lot of people, they might be going through a divorce, they might be going through a death in the family, any of those kind of things that bring up emotions that you maybe have to squish down and you can't deal with because you're trying to run a business. But those things are affecting your business. They're affecting the performance of you, and also affecting the performance of your team. I'm in the Wasaga Beach area, AK. So you're in the Toronto area. Yeah. So yeah, message me. I'll send you a link. You can book a time on my calendar. We can talk. If you feel like this is a program that you might be interested in learning more information about, and it'd be good for me to get to know you, understand what it is that you're experiencing, and whether or not I can actually help you. So I'm pretty selective at who I choose to work with. So if I don't feel that I can help you, then I will definitely try to point you in the right direction. But having a coffee chat with me is the first step at being determining whether or not we can actually work together. If I feel that just continuing on with the free training that I provide on a daily basis, or checking out my YouTube channel might be a better option for you, then I will definitely let you know that. My YouTube channel, for those of you that are jumping in, is Coach Tina B 125. I have uploaded the trainings that I do on a daily basis here. Okay, so and the stuff that I do here, it's more personal, and then sometimes I will reference a business example if that seems to be a better option to explain the situation or explain the tool that I'm providing you that day. So with that, I know I'm saying a lot, and I'm very self-conscious right now because, of course, I'm launching the program. So I'm going to be a little bit derpy, and that's okay. I will get better at that. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail and still be happy and still learn from those and grow from those. So, yeah. So this has been a whole lot bumpier than what I initially planned on doing, but I will do. I know I will learn from this and grow from this. So, uh, guys, anyway, my coaching program, Happiness Coaching, the goal is to be able to help you understand the emotions that you're going through, help you do that deeper inner work, provide you the tools that you need to be able to do this in a faster way so that you can shift those emotions from wanting to Hulk smash your team to being happy working with the team and not stressed out and not sitting in that burning fire that it's like, oh man, this is my circus. These are my monkeys and I am fine. I'm not fine when you know that you're not fine. So understanding that and working together to be that safe space so that you have somebody that you can open up to, that you're not actually dumping this on your employees, you're not dumping this on your family, you have a safe space and it's not a competitor, there's no threat of me dealing with your business or trying to overrun your business or any of that kind of stuff. It is working with you one-on-one so that you can actually open up and talk about the problems that are going on so that you can actually feel supported, because as a leader, as a business owner, oftentimes you don't feel supported in what it is that you're going through, and you can feel pretty alone that you can't actually talk about stuff. And yes, you can go to therapy, and if you feel like that's the route that you need, I definitely recommend therapy. That's amazing. Unfortunately, therapists aren't they're great at being able to talk with you on the one-on-one things. They may not fully understand what it takes to run a business or the stresses that go along with that. And so this is more understanding what it is that you guys need and helping you move through that in a way that actually makes you happier, much more fulfilled, still getting high performance in your business and also doing the inner work. So, yeah, I will be talking more about this coaching program as we go along. This is the first day, a bit bumpy. I underestimated what it was going to take with it being my birthday today and also doing the launch today. Hindsight being 2020, I probably should have separated the two, but I will come back tomorrow even stronger. So if you guys want to kick around and come back again tomorrow night, we'll be talking more about the happiness stuff and how to move from feeling depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, sad, numb to your feelings, to working on your business in a way that makes you happy, makes the people that work with you happier, whether that's a customer, a vendor, or your employees, your team. So doing that in a way that you are feeling fulfilled and so are the people around you. So guys, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. and we will see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.